Hi everybody, thank you for tuning in and for watching this check of the First Alert forecast. We are coming to you live right now from the First Alert desk. A lot of weather to talk about. It's been abnormally warm the past several days, but that is coming to a very quick end as we get deeper into the evening. Again, we're streaming live on many platforms. I want to welcome you in. Thanks for tuning in, whether you are watching at AtlantaNewsFirst.com, the Atlanta News First app, maybe Atlanta News First Alert weather app, Roku, Amazon Fire Stick, a lot of places. But a reminder, we're chatting, we're talking weather, and I'm here to answer your weather questions on two platforms in particular. That is going to be Atlanta News First on Facebook. Just search Atlanta News First and give them a follow. You can be alerted to future lives there. Also, we are live on YouTube. Again, a couple folks now joining. We're just a few seconds into this, so I want to give people a moment to tune in and to be back here in time to kind of catch the meat, the grit, if you will, of the First Alert forecast. But basically the story here tonight is the fact that we have some much chillier air filtering in, the coldest in fact in weeks. You have to go back to that cold snap we had back in October to find temperatures as chilly as what we are expecting. Not just this evening, overnight tonight, but even into the next 5, 6, 7 days. We kind of keep that chilly weather pattern going. I want to take you to the far north side. Hard to see now, but you can actually see that push of cold air pushing up across Lake Lanier. Again, a little hard to see the lake now that the sun is going down, and we do lose the sunlight pretty early in the day. But those lower clouds there on the horizon, kind of the edge of the stronger push of cool air. But of course, it is already starting to get a little bit chilly up there. Temperatures in Hall County already back down into the 40s. We can show you that now. West side of the lake going into Forsyth County in the upper 40s, but technically Gainesville there, the northeast side of the lake at 51, Blairsville 43, Canton 46, Carrollton 45. That's what I mean by the more significant push of cool air now moving into the Lake Lanier area. 53 Atlanta, 53 LaGrange, Carrollton mid-40s, 49 in Rome, 59 though, look at that difference. Locust Grove 59 just up the road, up 75. They're in Atlanta, 53, and just north and west, Carrollton in the mid-40s. We're 60 in Athens, but 43 in Blairsville. So a pretty stark difference, and that difference only widens as we head to the south and to the east. Savannah in the 70s, made it to almost 80 today. Meanwhile, Rome barely made it into the lower 50s earlier this afternoon. And now we're starting to see conditions really start to cool down. So a chilly evening ahead, a cold to at warmest. We'll still classify it as chilly. Stretch of weather on the way as we get into the middle of the work week. So temperature is definitely the highlight of this weather story, kind of that headline there for you. And checking out your evening hour-by-hour forecast, we're still in the lower 50s at Atlanta, Hartsfield, Jackson. That 53 came in just a few moments ago, so it's a pretty fresh reading. But I think that we're going to continue to cool, and notice how wind speeds stay up. It'll be breezy by 11 p.m. If you have evening plans a little later after dinner, mid-40s with that breeze feeling like it is in the 30s. So jackets, even that winter coat, a good idea this evening. Eventually, we break out of the clouds back into a clearer condition out the door tomorrow morning. Temperatures in the 30s. But look at that wind, sustained, 10 to 15, gusting up to 20. So that 34, it'll feel more like it's in the mid-20s, despite the sunshine out the door tomorrow morning. So do keep that in mind. And of course, we'll kick off the forecast where we left off this evening. Temperatures tomorrow morning, 7 a.m., low to mid-30s. It's possible we could see a light freeze further north and west outside of metro Atlanta, but I think inside the perimeter, not a freeze tonight, but it'll feel just as cold with that breeze. Back up to 37 by 9 a.m. Full sunshine tomorrow. Despite that, though, it's going to be a slow warm-up. Temperatures back in the low to mid-40s for lunch plans tomorrow. So if you're going to brunch, lunch, after church, time with the family, just a heads up, it's going to be cold. Temperatures mid-40s in Atlanta at noon. We're talking upper 30s, lower 40s still by the noon hour. North and west of metro Atlanta, of course, up in the mountains will be some of the coldest spots. You will struggle to get into the mid-40s tomorrow. So much colder air now invading North Georgia. It is sinking back in, and this is definitely going to be a cold weather setup here, not just tomorrow, but for the next several days. Now, where do we peak tomorrow afternoon? Keep in mind Atlanta did make it into the mid to upper 60s today. Tomorrow on the west side, Smyrna, northwest side, 49. 49 Estelle, Douglasville 48, 50 in the city of South Fulton. East Point, right around where the airport, our official high temperature comes in from, about 51. Also going 51 Atlanta, Decatur, Alpharetta, Sandy Springs, right around 50, 51. and Beaufort 53, Lawrenceville 53, 52 Lithonia, and Norcross 52. Typically, when as far as the metro is concerned, at least, Beaufort one of our cooler spots. But tomorrow, I think the chilliest weather actually up in the mountains and then west of Atlanta. Those spots could stay in the upper 40s tomorrow. Again, for those just joining this feed, thanks for watching. No matter what feed you're watching on, which platform you're catching the forecast. A reminder, though, if you have any weather questions, not just about tomorrow, but looking out into the future, next 7 to 10 days, you can grab the answer to your question on Facebook, Atlanta News First, monitoring that account. Also monitoring our YouTube channel, Atlanta News First, on both accounts. And just feel free to give me a holler. And, of course, I'm always here to answer your weather questions, even outside of these stream times. Not just myself, but meteorologist Ella Dorsey, meteorologist Rodney Harris, meteorologist Courtney Jacobazi, Fred Campagna, Jennifer Valdez, all of our social media accounts. We are here to answer your weather questions, comments, concerns, especially when we have a big change like what we're going through right now. First alert. Much colder air is starting to filter in. It's already doing so right now. If you're just tuning in, we'll jump back to that forecast, starting with what's happening now, what temperatures are doing at the moment. And these numbers just came in not long ago. So right now, it's 43 in Blairsville, 46 in Canton, with the breeze blowing, already feeling like it's in the mid and upper 30s in spots. 53 in Atlanta, 59 in Covington. We'll take down the banner and look at that range in temperatures. That's 60 in Athens. You will not be there much longer, I think, within the next couple of hours. You're probably back in the 50s very quickly into Athens, Clark County, and then 40s a little bit later this evening. Hour by hour forecast tomorrow. We'll lay out radar, and I'm going to put wind speeds on here. So gusting greater than 20, and this is interesting. Look up at the top end of that forecast model. The whites there in East Tennessee, the mountains of North Carolina, Boone, North Carolina, one of the highest spots up there, highest towns in the high country of North Carolina. You could see some snow showers overnight tonight into tomorrow morning. Meanwhile, further south, of course, no snow in North Georgia, but it's chilly, and winds will be gusting greater than 20 miles an hour into tomorrow morning, so it is going to be chilly. It'll have a bite on your Sunday morning, hence the first alert. And then wind speeds do die down a little bit into tomorrow afternoon. These are wind gusts, not sustained winds. Sustained 10 to 15, gusts up to about 15, 25. And then tomorrow evening, as winds really start to relax, gusts even back below 10 miles per hour in many spots. The setup is there for a very cold Monday morning. In fact, I think in all reality, even though tomorrow is kind of the first alert, it's the first morning with this big change. We want to let you know of this change in the weather pattern. It is going to be colder most likely on our Monday morning. We try to warm up Tuesday, Wednesday mornings in the upper 30s, 40s. That is only because clouds and rain move in. So it's going to be a rainy, chilly Tuesday morning, Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday night. We may not warm out of the 40s on our Tuesday. And then as that clears out, another push of cool air moves in. We could be looking at more frost freeze conditions, even down into the perimeter, into the immediate metro Atlanta area, Thursday, Friday, Saturday mornings. But a tricky late week forecast. This weather pattern is pretty complicated, and it is possible that we could have another storm system try to approach Thursday, Friday. If that happens, we'll need to raise those overnight temperatures, but also bring down or cool down the Thursday and Friday afternoon temperatures. More likely, we would say in the 40s versus warm into the lower 50s if we do manage to have more moisture and more clouds around the area. But that is not set in stone. A possibility. We're going to have to review data here over the next 2 days, get a better handle on the situation. But of course, we will first alert you, be the first to let you know if there are any wetter, colder changes in that, in particular here Thursday and Friday forecast. But right now, basically the coldest weather in weeks now settling into North Georgia. It is going to feel like winter for the next several days. In fact, the next 7 to 10 days, the weather pattern developing across the United States, a pretty chilly one. Max on Facebook, hello to you. So is there a first alert this week or next week? Basically tomorrow, Sunday, the first day of this real kind of chilly to cold weather pattern. That's a first alert. And also watching Tuesday, because trending a little wetter. So a chilly, rainy Tuesday, kind of a washout, dreary of a day. That's the other first alert, but not each and every day. We're just letting you know of the changes and when rain is in the forecast. But in all, some chilly weather this week, but not the whole week, Max. Just our Sunday and our Tuesday. You can see the first alerts there on that graphic. And Max is watching from Gwinnett County, Snellville. I'm sure you're feeling the chill up there. Temperatures fall back into the 40s. And the winds start to pick up. Hello there, Trent Martin. Thanks for watching on Facebook. So we have some questions, comments coming in. Richard says, does the jet stream affect these areas? You know, good question there, Richard. Again, chatting with Richard Gabriel. Basically, the jet stream can affect anywhere in the United States, and it does, depending on the time of year, what's going on. I have a graphic we can show you to kind of talk about this, and if you bear with me real quick, I'm going to pull up my weather graphics. And we will take a look at one of our forecast models. Again, this is just one forecast model, one of many that we look at. So just bear with me here as I load this back into the system. We'll keep it on that 7-day forecast in the meantime. But yeah, Richard, jet stream, big dip in that jet stream is why we're seeing some of the colder weather now, and why the colder weather will linger into the majority of next week. In fact, the next 7 to 10 days. Looking pretty much chillier than average. All right, here we go. Here is that forecast model, Richard, and here is the jet stream right here. You can see 2 big dips in the jet stream allowing colder air to filter southward. And this area of low pressure kind of sitting over here over the Pacific Northwest, that is an area of lower pressure, stormy weather. This is chillier air diving southward from Canada because of this dip in the jet stream. And now we will clear what I just drew on that map, and we're going to go forward in time, let's say the next 48 hours. And notice here how it evolves, but that dip in the jet stream remains fairly anchored. In fact, even deeper as we get into portions of the middle of the work week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Big dip in the jet stream again, allowing more cold air to spill out of Canada all the way down into portions of the southern plains. The desert southwest could see some snow in the mountains of New Mexico, even turning chillier as we get into Florida and the southeast coast. Everyone impacted by the jet stream, and that's just one example of the jet stream. Richard Gabriel impacting our forecast. Chatting with Richard there on Facebook. Fist bump right back at you, Trent. Thanks for watching. YouTube, Max again watching from Gwinnett. Thanks for tuning in. Let's jump back to that forecast now that we've kind of talked about the nitty-gritty details and what this setup, how this setup is delivering the cold air to our forecast. We'll focus on low temperatures. Overnight tonight, we do clear out. The winds pick up a bit. They remain breezy into tomorrow morning. So those 30s will feel like 20s. I think Monday morning a little calmer, but maybe colder, perhaps a freeze at the airport. We're going to get close to that. And then rain moves in on our Tuesday. More clouds around into Wednesday morning because of the wetter weather and the cloudier conditions. I do think the temperatures will be a little slower to cool. So we're going to wake up, yeah, jackets, coats, good idea with the rain around especially, but not as cold Tuesday and Wednesday mornings. And then that system clears out, more cold air, 35 in Atlanta Thursday morning, 34 Friday morning. Some of the data colder, but the problem with that late week forecast is that it's very uncertain. We have another little ripple in the jet stream that may try to form that could bring more clouds, more moisture back to the first alert forecast. And if we do have more clouds, more moisture, it'll be colder in the afternoon. Thursday, Friday could stay in the 40s again, but the mornings will be a little bit milder, certainly still cold, but not close to freezing. They'd be probably closer to 40 degrees. So a lot of uncertainty in that extended forecast. We'll bring back up the 7-day. And again, if you have any weather questions, comments, concerns, we are live on Facebook, live on YouTube, here to answer. And even outside of these live streams, here to answer any weather questions, comments, concerns that may come in. Richard, you're very welcome. Hopefully that solved the question for you, answered the question for you. And again, cold air, it is on the way and it is here to stay, at least for the next 7, but really 10 days. Cold week ahead, Friday. Next Friday, struggling to get to 50 along with Thursday, and it could be colder depending on that secondary storm system. That's why we put in a 20% chance of rain. We have to bump that up, but may also be able to just remove it altogether. A lot of uncertainty. I'm watching Thursday, Friday closely, but a more certain bet that Tuesday, of course, is going to be cold. We're stuck in the 40s all day, but also wetter weather, kind of a dreary, cold, damp Tuesday. But hey, it's kind of holiday weather, right? Gets you in the holiday spirit. You can watch your holiday movies. Plan the Christmas lights, if that's what you do. As soon as the rain moves out Tuesday, the sun comes back Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It'll remain chilly, but hey, at least you don't have rain for any holiday decorating. We're back to sunshine and drier conditions. I want to remind you that we will be on a little bit later this evening. Of course, at 7 p.m., we have the sports team on Atlanta News First. But coming up a little bit later this evening, we'll be back at 9 p.m., 10 p.m., and then that half-hour traditional 11 p.m. newscast. I want to thank you for watching. I hope you have a wonderful evening. We'll leave you with a look at that 7-day forecast. Reminder, you can get the 10-day and the Atlanta News First Alert weather app and at atlantanewsfirst.com. Have a wonderful evening, and we'll see you in just a little bit on TV.